Did you watch any of that?
I did.
Yeah.
At Louisville. Louisville's good.
Especially at home.
I know.
There's at home.
I
There's
don't think Florida State's.
Where is that game? Well, they're not playing.
It would be in the final.
No, Louisville has Virginia Thursday night.
Where?
Home.
At night?
Yeah. Good luck.
And then Miami.
Where's that?
At Miami.
Yeah, I agree, man. Louisville playing it there. It's a little.
They're good.
All
They always
right,
have.
thanks.
Yeah, so
Questions for Vinny?
Talking to Coach about Elijah Jones, and just from the defensive perspective, having a ball hawk back there that can turn over and give it, just talk about his value back there, I guess, if I can ask.
Yeah, anytime you could take the ball away, like Friday night, you could change the game. So, I mean, when me and Elijah came in together, many years ago, but, he's long and he's got really good ball skills, which I think is an underrated trait in a lot of defensive backs, right? You can cover guys, you can run, but then when the ball's in the air, being able to turn it into a receiver and change the game is something Elijah's really good at and something that's really, really important as a defender and makes a huge difference in our defense in the game.
you've been here for 2 coaches now, 5 years. It feels like this team is having more fun than any team has, and at least under Coach Halfley. Why do you think that is?
I think we have really good guys on the team, right? And I think everyone's aligned. I think everyone's aligned very similar in terms of we want to win. We care about each other. We're friends off the field, but we want to win games. And then we put the work in together, and nobody's really in it for themselves. Everyone's goal every week is to win the game. In the offseason it was we want to have especially after last year, it was we want to win more games. And so when you have guys that are not only your close friends, but guys you've seen work really hard and then, make plays when it's their turn to step up, you get really, really excited for them. And I think that's, momentum's huge in college football, and that just gives us even more as those guys make plays in the game.
And just sort of to that point, early in the season, I'm sure you guys heard it, a lot of chatter around Coach Halfley and just the team in general.
Yeah.
And his message hasn't changed in 4 years.
Yeah.
What is it about Coach Halfley that's kind of helped this team come together?
I think it's just his stability, right? In terms of whether it's a great win or a tough loss, throughout the years, he comes in here on Sunday, he comes in here on Tuesday for our first practice of the week, and the message is always the same. It's always about how we need to prepare, how we need to ignore, try to block out distractions, and I think. Your team a lot of times takes the personality of your leader, and I think you've seen that as the games go on, right? We don't really get flustered. He's not a guy who gets flustered, which I think is such an important trait of a leader, especially on game day. We come in at halftime, and we always feel like we can win the game, and I think that's, sometimes it's not the most flashy thing, but over time, consistency over time, you start to see it pay off, and here it is.
I think this is the deepest team you've had since you've been here, and if so, why do you think?
I think so. I mean, even again, like you talk about Friday night, we had a ton of guys step up. Throughout the years, we've had sometimes, 1 or 2 guys goes down, and then there's kind of a little bit of a void at a position. But you talk about, CJ Clinkscale stepping up at defensive back, guys stepping up at defensive line. I mean, Gilbert has been banged up for, close to a year now. He comes off, and he's going to be a great player. He's been working really hard. He did a great job. So I think you just, those are examples. I mean, Owen, he's playing offense, defense, and special teams. He's doing such a great job. So you have talented players throughout the roster, and especially later in the season, everyone across the country is a little banged up, and you need that depth to pay off. So I think we're seeing it.
Can you describe how practice has shifted this year to incorporate that depth and make it magnify it?
Yeah, I think last year we were really banged up, so it affects your preparation in terms of getting good on good scout looks. Right, so we don't go, 1s versus 1 during practice, but when, when the scout team is, the scout team's giving a look for the first team defense, or the scout team's giving a look for the first team offense, those guys who are maybe not in the too deep, but they're giving a look, but, a lot of times those are still really competitive reps. Those guys are younger players, but they're still really talented, going to be really good players. But then, if you lose a lot of depth, it's harder to get that look. So then you come out in the game, and you haven't been game speed during the week. So I think that's one thing that this year the scout teams have been awesome those young guys have done a tremendous job.
And got bowl eligibility. Coach said after the game, now we're going for a better bowl. I'm looking at your history. 220 you didn't go because you didn't want
Yeah.
to. COVID stole 1 year.
Yeah.
Were you around for Cincinnati?
I was here in 18 when we lost it to the tornado in Dallas. Yeah, I got stuck in Dallas for like 4 days.
Your bowl I mean, that must be something on your college bucket list is to play in a warm weather bowl or closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for my family too. I think they're keep pestering me. Let's get out of the cold, get down to Florida or something. But yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's kind of just been a crazy string of bad luck, between games getting canceled and the weather and COVID, and so I think certainly, especially for a lot of the older guys, we're all very eager to play in the best bowl that we can, go compete and have a lot of fun.
I guess kind of to Rich's question, there was a lot of path talk after the game the other
Yeah.
day. And Coach Affley has always been very day-to-day oriented.
Yeah.
Were you surprised, I guess, one, surprised at how much even he acknowledged it, and two, as a leader, do you have to kind of make sure guys reel it back a little bit and still focus on the day-to-day?
Absolutely. I think a lot of it's we're having a lot of fun. I think you don't want to be a Debbie Downer a little bit, right? I think it's great. The fans are really excited. We're really excited. But I think at the core of it, I think in this we come in the team room on Tuesday or Sunday, Tuesday. We know what we have. In order to get there, we just got to handle our business one day at a time. But I think it's a lot of it is we're winning in important games. We're doing it in dramatic fashion sometimes, and we're just having a lot of fun.
Or along those lines, does Virginia Tech feel like one of the bigger games of your career?
I think so. I think it's again like another turning point of of the season, right? You can kind of take we got 3 ACC games left that are all going to be really competitive, and you can this team can choose the direction that they want to go in terms of where they are in BC history. Thank you.
Dallas that year.
Where are you?
That was
Oh my God.